Here we are with episode 100 of the Time for Heroes podcast, and it is with the fantastic Welsh singer-songwriter Megan Wyn. At 19 years old, Megan has already had 4 singles out and a revamp. This girl is super talented, but at the same time so down to earth. Big fan of rugby, big fan of football, even bigger fan of Guinness. We touched on all Megan's career, right from the start, from recording into a camera phone in lockdown up until what's going on now, which includes Megan going on a headline tour starting this Friday with a sold out show in Manchester at the Deaf Institute. After that, she will be playing Newcastle, Sheffield, Birmingham and London. Ticket links will be in the show notes, as well as all the links to contact Megan on social media. Check the lassie out. She is an absolute talent. Hope you all enjoy the podcast. Please keep liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, all of that stuff. But most importantly, enjoy. Thanks.
Sunlight in my way. The seasons look like changing, but the cold will stay.
On the podcast today, I have Welsh solo artist Megan Wyn. She's been going for 2 or 3 years now, and we're going to touch all the way through her career and then what's coming up in the future. But what I like to do at the start, Megan, is go right back to early life, what life was like for a young Megan growing up.
So I grew up literally in the middle of nowhere on Anglesey. I think like the population of my town is like 1,000 people. It's very, very small, very close-knit, but I loved it growing up there. It was very nice. You know, I've got a massive family, so it felt like half the town was my family. But yeah, I kind of like sang all my life, and my parents always played music to me and stuff, but I didn't really like play music or anything like that until I was like a teenager. I always sang, but I didn't pick up a guitar till I was 15 in lockdown, so that was quite fun. I was in a choir growing up. I sang opera growing up as well, and yeah, that was kind of like my introduction to music. Was like more of a classical route, to be fair, but I love that dog, how cute. But yeah, I was like in a band and stuff growing up, but nothing good. It was just with my cousins and we were awful. But yeah, that's kind of how I got into music. And
Right. I heard that you're quite coy about this band. You don't seem to talk about it very often.
No.
The opera stuff. What is it with opera in Wales? Is that just the kind of done thing for girls in Wales to kind of get down the opera route?
Yeah, I guess so. I literally remember telling my mum like, "Oh, I want to start doing it, like taking it more seriously," and that was kind of like the only thing like Anglesey had to offer. So I did it and I loved it, and I think I gained a lot of confidence like singing in the choir, and like we literally played like all over the UK with that choir. Like we played the Royal Albert Hall and stuff in London, which was mad. And yeah, I think if I grew up anywhere else I wouldn't have done it, but I'm glad I did it. It's something that I cherish. So yeah.
As well as the kind of opera, obviously I heard somewhere else you were into your football as well, and you actually played centre back.
Yeah.
So when was this? Was this teenager age as well?
No, I grew up playing football. It was like I've literally played football since I was 3, and then I kind of stopped when I started taking music more seriously. Like when I was in the choir and stuff, because I was too busy with that. And like, yeah, I loved it. I played it for years, and it was like I was so dedicated to it. And yeah, I do miss it, but I think if I ran on a field now, I would be very unfit.
So you said about lockdown then, that's when you started in the guitar. So was this all self-taught?
Yeah. So I had a few lessons. I like bought a guitar because I knew I wanted to start playing. And then I had a few lessons. I think I had like two or three, and then COVID hit. So I was like, oh, great. So yeah, I pretty much self-taught myself, and um, was asking around a few friends that could play and if I was stuck with anything. But yeah, it was pretty much self-taught, just learn on YouTube and figuring stuff out by ear.
That's
So
amazing to think where you're at now, through that.
thank you.
So obviously at 15 in lockdown, picking up the guitar, there would be a point where you were going to be leaving school. So was there any other plans, like job wise, or were you just fully focused on music?
Yeah, it was always music for me. Like even when I was playing football and stuff, like I always wanted to do music. And yeah, I was actually planning on moving to London straight after school, and my mum was like, "You're not doing that." So we moved to Manchester instead, and that's where I've been since I was 16, nearly 17. And I'm still
Right.
here and I love it. But yeah, it was always music for me. I like even from like a very young age, like my mum always said, you know, like when they ask him in school and stuff, I always said I wanted to be a singer or a performer. And like I did like theatre and stuff growing up, but I didn't really want to do that. It was always like being in a band or a solo artist or just being on a stage. And I was always obsessed with like watching performances on YouTube when I was a kid. Like it's literally I'd get home from school, I'd go to my grandma's house and I'd go on the computer and just watch like YouTube for hours. Like doesn't even matter if I didn't like the music. It was just like I just loved
Mm-hmm.
like the visual idea of someone being on stage and the performance of it. I loved it.
So, like, saying that you moved to Manchester, did you move there yourself, or did your mum come
Me and
with
my
you?
mum.
Right.
Yeah.
Because how was that then? It must be daunting, like growing up in like a wee small town to then kind of move to somewhere like that. So how did that kind of affect you at that time?
I mean, it was scary. Like it was very scary at the start. I hated it at the start. That's what You Don't Get It is about. Yeah, I was like so looking forward to moving and then hated it for like a year. But yeah, I guess like it was just so out of my comfort zone that I didn't really, and because I was so young as well, it was like I didn't really understand like the new feelings that was coming along and trying to navigate like such a big city. And like I was so used to literally knowing every single person in my town, and I didn't even know my neighbors till like a few months ago now. So it's like, yeah, it was like a massive shock to the system, but I'm really glad I did it, and it's definitely like I've definitely grown as a person because I did it, and I absolutely love it now, and don't think I can move back to Anglesey. But yeah, love it.
Yeah, it must be so daunting. It must be like night and day between the two places. So during lockdown, then what were you doing then? Just kind of uploading videos, like performance videos on socials.
Yeah, so I literally was like learning the guitar and then was learning like one song at a time. And that's how I kind of like learned chords and stuff. And then I would just be like, oh, I'm gonna try and sing it and film myself. And I was like, oh, I'm just gonna post them because why not? And like they were doing quite well to be fair. Like um I remember one of my videos got like 500,000 views, which was mad. And I was like, oh no, I can't play guitar. I think that gave me courage to like actually like pursue music as well. And like where I grew up, like like it was so weird for people to do like music. Like every time I told people, oh, I'm gonna move to Manchester in a few months after I finish school and do music, they were like, what do you mean? Like what, like opera and stuff? And I was like, no, like, more contemporary stuff. And no one kind of understood what I meant. And that was like, I think that was the hardest part for me, like in lockdown, like uploading stuff. I was like, oh no, like what are the kids in school gonna think when I go back? Like, am I gonna get bullied? But to be fair, like everyone's quite supportive, and yeah, I mean, there was a few people that gave me shit, but that's
Yeah.
bound to happen,
Yeah,
innit?
well, where are they? You know what I mean? They're no kind of getting to do the job they love like yourself. So the joke's on them, innit?
Exactly.
Um, Influences wise as well, what sort of influences were you into when you were younger, and how's that kind of progressed to what you're up to now?
I think like weirdly Nirvana was like what I was obsessed with as a kid. It was like they were definitely my first favorite band, and they were like the only thing I'd go to sleep to when I was a kid. Like my parents had to always play Nirvana, so I'd go to sleep, and yeah, that was weird. But and then I think I kind of like progressed on to like well Fleetwood Mac and stuff. Obviously, um I think for me like she was kind of like the only female I remember seeing as a very young kid and being like obsessed with. But then I like got into like pop music and like Rihanna and stuff like that. And I was obsessed with like Katy Perry's theatrical stages and stuff like that. I grew out of that though, but still love them. They're great. But yeah, then I got back into bands and went through a really indie phase when I was a teenager and was, bucket hat wearer through and through.
Yeah, good on you.
um, but yes, literally like loads of stuff. I think now I've got such a broad taste of music because I've loved everything. Like I grew up listening to dance music and stuff as well, and um, I worked with a few like DJs and stuff on songs when I was like a teenager. Um, and yeah, I think I've just like kind of my music taste is like doesn't matter what I listen to, it all kind of influences me in a little way. Like whereas it's like the hook from like a dance music track or where it's like a guitar from like a Nirvana song or whatever. It's kind of but recently to be fair, like I've been obsessed with like Suki Waterhouse, Sharon Moneta and Patti Smith again. I go through phases of like loving Patti Smith and then not listening for months and then going back, but I'm back in there at the minute. But yeah, I think but I'm also like really inspired by a lot of new bands now and getting to perform with so many bands on festival lineups and stuff. And it's nice to see what they're doing because I think a lot of what new bands are doing now is quite fresh and that's nice to see. And yeah,
After kind of lockdown kind of broke, I've been looking through all your Instagram and all that, so I tried to kind of create a timeline to some extent. So like the first kind of thing that I seen was Ed Cousins. Ed Cousins,
oh
I
yeah,
don't know how you pronounce it. He's for Reverend and the Makers, isn't he? So you done like a support with him online, and you
yeah.
done the Great Escape showcase that was also online. So that was like kind of your first kind of steps out into the world as a performer.
Yeah, it was very weird. Like I remember we were in lockdown and um I was very in my indie phase at this point and I got a message asking if I wanted to support Ed from Reverend and the Makers, and I was like, what the hell is going on? But yeah, like that was weird but cool. I remember filming it and I was like, this is really weird because I don't know if I was meant to talk in between the songs or was it just do I just play the songs? And it was a weird thing. And I remember going to Liverpool to film the Great Escape thing. That was weird as well because there was literally no one there except like a camera guy and a lighting guy, and it was like no one else there. And I was like having to pretend that I was talking to a massive crowd, which was really weird. And as well, because I'd never performed in front of anyone before, I didn't know how to do it either. But I think like I skipped school for that as well because I think we were back in school by then. But yeah, it was weird but fun. Loved it. I'm
Um,
back.
so if that felt weird to you, if that felt daunting, then the next thing that I've seen, and I didn't discover this until maybe a couple of years after it, the Scots Menswear Music Venue Trust, uh,
Yeah,
United Artists Collective. Um, Basically, see watching that, I think I discovered that I had Pete Hutton for the farm one. towards the start of the year, and I think it was after having him on that I discovered this video, and it's basically got everything that I listen to on it. So, see, like when people talk about Band-Aid and things like that, and if a bomb went off in the room, everybody that was on that would be dead or whatever. So, if a bomb went off in the room the day you recorded that, all the music that I'm listening to now wouldn't exist. And
God,
obviously,
that's
you get the
mad.
K's, you get Shambolics, Jamie Webster's on it, the Laughings are on it, Cobain Jones, Rhiannon Downey, all sorts, man. So for you then, is kind of you've just started out. How was it for you, kind of getting into a room and recording with other artists? I mean, they're maybe no far off the level you were at that time, but at the same point, they're probably more comfortable than you were. So how was it for you?
It was mad. Like, I remember phoning into school sick that morning because like my attendance was awful, so they weren't gonna like give me a day off basically. And my mum drove me to Liverpool, and I was learning like, I mean, I knew the song anyway, but I was learning like the lyrics off by heart, and I sang it all the way to Liverpool in like 2 hour drive. But yeah, I was mad. I was so nervous because I'd literally like never been in a studio before, I don't think. Or I had been once, but it was like one like back home. And this was like a dead professional studio. And it was like it was a shoot for Scott's Menswear as well. Like
Mm-hmm.
so like we were on like the covers and stuff of like the magazines and like on the billboards and stuff, which was mad. And I remember like walking in, and the first thing was like hair and makeup and like getting styled in these like really cool clothes. And I was like, what is going on? Like, I was in school last week. But yeah, it was sick, and got to work with like Rich Turvey and stuff, who has obviously produced loads of records that I've listened to for ages. And
Mm-hmm.
it was nice to get to meet so many new bands as well that I was also like a fan of. But it was so weird. Like, it was like so out of my comfort zone. I didn't know what to do. Yeah, it was fun, but everyone made me feel very welcome, and it was really nice. And I'm still friends with everyone that is on the record, so it
Yeah,
was
well, you can
nice.
see
Like,
that once you go through your career, the amount of people that you've supported, um, that have appeared on that as well. So, you're kind of making contacts all the way through the music industry as well.
yeah,
Because no long after that, the guy that opens the song, Jack Jones for Trampoline, the following month, I think it is, he played, it was the delayed Euros, and you played like a wee kind of gig in Manchester for before the Wales Switzerland game, along with
yeah.
that. So how is it? Trampoline is one of my favourite bands. Jack Jones, one of my favourite artists. I've had him on the podcast. So how was it kind of getting to work specifically with him?
I mean, I loved it because I'd been a fan of theirs for ages, like from Wales, and they never play in North Wales. So I was like, I'd always wanted to see them, and um, like particularly like Jack, like I love his lyricism and think he's just like the coolest person ever. And yeah, I was like so scared to get to play with him, but honored at the same time. And it was nuts because everyone was sat down, and they like I was talking to them in the dressing room, and they were saying like, oh, this is such a weird gig for us, but it was like I'd never played to anyone that wasn't sat down before. So it was like it didn't feel weird for me at all to play, to everyone sat down on their tables and chilling. But yeah, it was really nice, and like Jack gave me loads of advice that day. And have I frozen?
Yeah, yeah. I was just leaving you. I didn't want to say you
I'm back.
midway through.
But yeah, Jack gave me loads of advice that day, and was just really, really nice. And I was a bit like starstruck. Like 16-year-old me was like, oh. But he was lovely, and I'm still good friends with him today. And I've I've supported him on a few more dates after that, and it's always been fun, and he's always that supportive, and yeah, he's a really nice guy.
Yeah, I'm going to see him. His solo tour. I'm going to see him the start of November, and he's just
Nice.
released the supports. It's Jack Valero that's supporting him.
Oh yeah.
He's another former guest of the podcast, so I'm kind of super excited to see the two of them together. I think that'll be a good lineup. Still
Yeah.
waiting to see you, Megan, but I'm going to come on to that later on. So I further on into the year, obviously you supported Trampoline again, the full band in Cardiff, and then September you did like your hometown show in Anglesey.
Yeah.
So how was that then? Kind of going back to your hometown and playing?
That was mad. Like, no one does shows like that on Anglesey where like you have like pub singers, but it was like I literally announced it and no one knew what I was like what it meant. Like no one understood that like you had to buy a ticket and it was like gonna be like a gig where you've got like support acts and and I did it acoustically, because I'd moved to Manchester by that time and I didn't know any musicians to play with me on stage, but it was really nice. And I think it sold out in like a day and it was like 400 people, which was nuts. And it was mad. And I couldn't believe that people from my hometown like actually got behind it like they did. And they still do. Like every time I go home, they're always very supportive and stuff. I've not played that again, but I will at some point, but I'd love to go back and play. But yeah, it was mad. Like I was so nervous, and it was like my first experience of people being there to watch me as well. Because I played like support. Had I? No, I don't think I had. I think I played the Isle of Wight like a week before, and like I'd never experienced like someone just being there, like knowing your music, and yeah, it was great. It was mad.
And that Isle of Wight, you said, um, did you play like 3 different sets and you play every day at Isle of
Yeah,
Wight?
it was nuts. Like I went down. And it was like that was one of my first gigs, and me and my acoustic guitar. And I went down. I had one gig booked, and I got there on the Thursday, and I was told, they're like, "Oh, you're playing tomorrow." I was like, "What do you mean I'm playing tomorrow? Like, where here? Like at this stage?" And they were like, "No, no, no." Like it was like this massive stage. I think it was like the third stage or something, and I was like playing like a smaller stage on the Saturday. But it was nuts. And I remember like I had my own dressing room and like we were on like the golf buggies and I was so confused the whole time, but
It's
it was
absolute
amazing.
nuts when you think like a few months before you were just kind of playing in lockdown to kind of
Yeah.
into like a camera phone or whatever.
Yeah, it was really weird and like I played to like a few hundred people then and it was nuts. Like it absolutely blew my brain off. And then the Saturday I played this feeling stage, which was also great. And then I played a set for Gibson on the Sunday, and it was like in this like backstage area thing. And like I remember I was playing it, and like Tal Barat was there.
Oh,
I
that's
was
nuts,
like,
man.
I can't remember who else was there, but there was like a few celebrities. One of the Spice Girls was there. My mum was like, "Oh my god, no way!" And I was sat there, and I was like, "How was I in school 6 months ago, and now I'm playing to Calvert?" Yeah, it was nuts. It was really, really mad, and it was just like a sit down acoustic guitar. Am I back? There we
Ah, you're
go.
getting the hang of this now.
I know. Yeah, it was just
What
like me
Spice
and
Girl was it?
I don't know. I can't remember because I mean, obviously, like I was born in
That's
2004,
terrible for a. I
before
mean,
my
a
time.
lassie
But
like you that's into all the female empowerment, and you can't remember what Spice
I
Girl.
know. Well, I just remember my mum saying, "Oh my god, that's one of the Spice Girls." But I was too head in. Oh my god, one of the Libertines is watching me right now
Well,
to care
again,
about the Spice
I'd be more
Girls.
excited about that as well. To be fair,
Do you love the Spice Girls though?
and you finished the year off with some more supports. The K's. I've had Ryan on the podcast and Andrew Cushion. who I've also had in the podcast. So the start of a beautiful friendship, for what I believe, with you and Andrew.
Yeah.
Um, he's been like a kind of constant so far through your career.
Yeah.
He's been there to give you advice and things. For what I believe, he's gave you quite a bit of advice. Is that true, or is he passing himself off as more
No,
of an expert than he actually is?
he was so like I actually met him. I don't know how we met actually, but he's actually the one that showed this feeling my music, and he's the one. And then this feeling got me on like Isle of Wight and all these shows, so like Trampoline and on the Scots thing. So thanks to him, really, like kind of had a start. But yeah, we've been friends for years, and I think we've been friends for like 5 years now or something, 4 or 5 years, which is mad, and still really good friends. And yeah, it's mad. Like he's one of them people that I've like always gone to for things, and he's always been really nice and really supportive. And yeah, I haven't asked him stuff in ages, to be fair, which I'm sure he's glad about, and that I've stopped pecking his head about stuff. But yeah, I played a show with him just before Christmas, and it's really nice because we've played with each other so many times that it's just like when we're in the dressing room and stuff, it just like we're just friends, so it doesn't feel awkward or anything, and they're always great shows, and all his team are lovely, and his bands and stuff are also good friends of mine now, so it's nice.
I mean, looking at you both kind of for a distance, you kind of have got the same kind of career trajectory. We both being kind of solo artists. Obviously, he kind of, as you progress, you kind of need to form a band round about you. So, on that aspect, how was it for yourself, kind of getting your own band round about you?
I think, well, I always wanted to get a band. I mean, that was the plan from the start. But when I moved to Manchester, I didn't know anyone to get in a band, for them to play with me and stuff. So it was kind of like I wanted to play shows, but the only option I had was to play acoustically. But I'm so glad I did that because I really found myself as an artist through doing that. And they were like the hardest gigs like to play. Because if you play a like a massive room and there's like 4 people there, when you've got a full band, at least you can vibe with someone on stage, and like there's noise there. But when it's like it's so awkward playing to like a room of no one when it's just you and the acoustic guitar, because everyone can hear everything. If there's one person talking, you can hear them over them, like over me. So it's, it was very daunting. But I went to a music college and met my band there, and yeah, they're still my band now, and they're my best mates. So yeah, but we didn't like start playing together for them to like join my band. I guess it was more like we just played together because we liked playing together, and it just naturally progressed. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, it was just like a completely natural thing, and we love playing together, and it's nice. We're about to go on tour, and we'll hate each other by the end of the week. But it is nice. They're like my brothers, and yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it must be nice to have people that are around about you. Kind of, it'll make you feel more at ease.
Yeah.
Going into the following year, then, festival wise, you played lots of festivals. You played Truck, Isle of Wight, Why Not, Great Escape, Stockton Calling, all sorts. Support wise, Skinner Brothers, Roller. I've had them in the podcast. John Power, who I've had in the podcast. The Kairos, the Claws, Red Drum Club, Jack Jones again, Andrew Cushion again, Tommy Smith, and you supported Nicky Lip in Glasgow.
I did, yeah.
Nicky Lip, I'm pretty sure Nicky Lip is Nick Mercer in it. He used to be in a band.
Yeah.
Sergeant, yeah. So looking through all of that, is that the one and only time you played Glasgow?
It is, weirdly.
Yeah,
It's the only time I've ever been to Scotland.
That's going to need to change.
I know. I was literally like, I keep telling like my team and stuff, I'm like, when I go back to Scotland, they're like, yeah, we'll sort it. It's just not happened, but it's kind of like, yeah, I need to get some support slots there, I think. But I'd love to come back. I loved it. That Pink Touch show was one of my favourite shows, like
Yeah.
to date, and it was so much fun. And Glasgow's such a beautiful city as well. Loved it. The drive was so nice as well. Long but nice. I was like, wow, gorgeous.
I've actually just started managing a band the last 6 months. Just kicked off 6 months ago, and they've already headlined King Tut's.
Oh, sick.
Their single just came out last Friday. There, I don't
Oh,
know if you've seen
nice.
it.
What
I
are they
shared
called?
the High Flats. I think I
Nice.
shared it on Instagram. I'll share it with you again anyway. But
Yeah, yeah.
they're probably not at the level, but I'd love you to come up and support them just to see you at King
Yeah.
Tut's at the ideal one.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
as well as that year, towards the end of the year, you played Cardiff, what is it, the Principality Stadium?
Yeah.
Is that a different name? It used to be the Millennium Stadium.
Millennium, yeah. Everyone still calls it the Millennium.
Yeah, yeah. Is that a different stadium? So you played there
Yeah.
for the Welsh rugby for Wales, Georgia. How was that? Because I had PG Carletta on not that
Oh,
long ago,
yeah.
and
I'm
he
good
done the
friends with
same. He
Phil, yeah.
played Murrayfield for one of the rugby games. So
Yeah.
what sort of buzz is that kind of playing to
Oh, it
be?
was surreal. Like, I love rugby, obviously, because I'm Welsh. And, like, I've been growing up going to that stadium to watch Wales, and it's such a big thing in my family. Like, my nan, when the rugby's on, like, you can't go to a house, you can't, like, doesn't answer the phone, nothing. It's all rugby, nothing else. So I've grown up, like, really loving rugby, and it was so weird. Like, I was at bottomless brunch with my guitarist because I'd just been for a tattoo and we were like, oh, let's go for bottomless brunch, why not? Um, and I get a phone call from Hugh Stevens
Right.
from Radio 1, and I was like, why is it? I thought it was a prank call. I answered it, and he was like, hi, yeah, it's Hugh Stevens. I was like, no, it's not. Anyway, and then like I actually realised it actually was him, and he asked me if I wanted to do it, and it was the most bizarre thing ever. I was a bit drunk, and I was like, I walked back into the room, and I was like, so Hugh Stevens just rang me, and I'm playing the Principality Stadium. It was it was a bit weird, but it was great. I was buzzing, and yeah, like I mean, I think we lost that game, but it was mad. I got to watch the rugby for free. Got to play the stadium, which was nuts. Like, um, it's a dream of mine to like get to play it like with a band and stuff. Not for the rugby, but yeah, I was just mad. Like, I never thought I'd get to do that, and getting to do it was like just insane. And I remember my whole family was just like, I think they had tickets for that game anyway, so like they were there, and it was so
Mm-hmm.
weird, and it was such a big thing for my family, I think, and it was nice, and something we still talk about today. To be fair, like we love it, and I've not been since, weirdly, but I'm gonna go back again soon, and when I go back, like I think it's gonna like blow my head off that I got to play it.
And
So
when you played there, where were you? Were you just down in the pitch playing?
yeah, it was like I don't know how to explain it. It was like at this bit, yeah,
Yeah,
at the
I've went
bottom.
easy on you then, just because when I spoke to PG, they had him up on the roof at Murrayfield.
Yeah, that's mad, isn't it? I
I
remember him
think
texting
Jamie
me saying he
Webster
was
done
doing it.
something similar.
It was like in this bit on the floor. I don't know how to explain it. I
Right.
don't know what it's called. And I'm really bad at explaining things, but it was great. Really mad.
And obviously, that's like throughout the year, you were releasing singles as well. Um, when I got into you, there was only your new stuff out. So, see, like your old stuff before you had a revamp the following year. What is the plan for that? Will you be re-recording any of that?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I think the only reason I took it down was because I feel like um they weren't kind of like the sound that I am now, and my
Mhm.
voice has changed so much. Like I sound really high pitched now because I was so young. Like I recorded Polaroid when I was like 14, 15. So it was like obviously now I'm 19, 20. Like my voice is naturally going to change, and there was stuff in the song like that we play live, and I was like, oh, I wish that was on the record, and it just felt right to take them off at that point, and like I'm gonna rework them in the future and definitely release them in the future because I absolutely love them songs still, and yeah, still love
Yeah.
playing them live and stuff, and yeah, I definitely will.
So, as I say, last year's when I discovered you, and you're probably looking at your kind of output and what you were up to. It was probably quieter than it's been. Festival wise, there wasn't as many the bigger festivals. There wasn't as many support shows. You supported Ed for Rev and the Makers again. You supported the Coral, and you supported your pal Andrew again. But there was you had your own tour in March, and you had headline shows in Manchester and Liverpool towards the end of the year. And obviously, the releases of the two songs, you don't get it in Familiar Faces. So, like last year, was that more a conscious effort of you rebranding, kind of maybe concentrating more on the music and just kind of getting that nailed in?
Yeah, I think so. I had like the odd support shows, but it was kind of like I wanted to do like a kind of like a rebrand and more focus on not focus on the shows, but I think because I played so many shows the year before, I think um I was like constantly like up and down the country, and I wasn't really having time to like write and focus on like what I actually wanted to do. So it was kind of like a bit of I'll play the show like the shows that are like not that any show is not important to play, but the more important shows that would benefit me more in the long run, and things that just made sense for the plan. Like because I was playing shows the year before that just was like just a random show, like that just didn't make sense for me to play. So yeah, it was just kind of more of like I'm going to focus on the music and getting the live shows how I want them to be. And I did that. So yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, you don't get it as like I can't get that out of my head, man. It's like for the first time I heard that, man, I was like, this lassie's going to be massive. She's going to be
Oh, thank
phenomenal.
you.
And yeah, you did kind of initially remind me a wee bit of Rianne
Oh
because
yeah.
obviously, kind of, you're like we've got her up here, and I'm super proud of what she's doing.
Oh,
But
she's
to have
mega.
kind of for her to maybe shine a light on other female artists, and there is lots of these like kind of going a bit. There's another wee girl from Manchester, I think, is it Izzy Sutcliffe? I've
Oh
seen
yeah.
her, and then there's that Dirty Blonde as well.
Oh, I
And
love
so
Dirty Blonde.
there's lots of female artists going a bit, but
Yeah.
you kind of as soon as I heard that song, it kind of stood out for me.
Oh, thank you.
Um, Obviously, you're a big rugby fan. You mentioned earlier as well, you used to play football. I heard you on the Magic Mods podcast, another guy that I've had on mine as well.
Oh, you're
Um,
so nice.
and you were talking about football, you're a big Everton fan.
I am.
So 2023, you played at Goodison Park during the Everton Man City game,
Yeah,
and you also became a model as well.
I did.
Modelling the new away strip. So how was that then? Kind of maybe a wee bit about your love for Everton, how that came about. Were you both
So
Welsh?
yeah, well, I was literally forced to support Everton, to be fair. I didn't have any choice but to support Everton. Um, my whole my whole dad's side of the family are massive Blues. My dad is like particularly a massive Evertonian, and I literally had no other choice but to. But we don't really have like massive teams like that in North Wales where I'm from, so it was kind of like the closest thing anyway. Um, but yeah, I like I've grown up going to games, and it's always been. I remember like every weekend. Well, my dad's in the army, but when my dad was home, we'd always have to watch the football, and I hated that at the start. I was like, I don't want to watch this, but yeah, I like obviously grew to love it, and I think I love the atmosphere more than anything. Like when you go to Goodison, it's such like it feels like a family vibe there, and I really like it. It's very close to it, which is nice. But yeah, getting to like play at Goodison and getting to do the kit release was insane, and I never ever thought I'd get to do that. Like I didn't, it wasn't even something I'd thought about,
Yeah.
but it was nuts. Like, and I got to do it with like some friends of mine who are also musicians, like Spin and Suzu, and that was fun. But it was so weird. Like we started shooting at like 5 in the morning, so like I got up at like 2 in the morning to drive over to Liverpool. I was sat in a car park getting my hair and makeup done. It was really weird, but we had to shoot like early hours in the morning because obviously we were shooting around Liverpool, and
Yeah,
obviously
you
they
don't
didn't want
want
to. They didn't want to get the kit like what's the word? Like
they
people to see
didn't
the
want
kit.
them to seen it before release.
Yeah. So yeah, it was nuts. It was really nice, and um, it's really weird. Like now when I go to games, like people come up to me and stuff, and that's really weird for me. But I got to take my dad to a game last year, which was really nice, and
Yeah,
that
your
was
dad
fun.
must be super proud of you with all that.
Oh, he was buzzing. Like he didn't believe me when I rang him when I got told like that I was booked for the kit campaign, and he was like, "Why are you doing that? No offense." Like, and I was like, "Oh, don't know," but yeah, he was buzzing, and he still goes on about it now. He's in his house, like he's got a massive picture of me in the Everton kit on his wall. Bless him.
I've got a few friends that are Everton fans up here. Obviously, I'm a Celtic fan, and there's quite a connection with Celtic
Yeah,
and Everton. So, once you get yourself up to Glasgow for the next gig, you'll need to come to Celtic Park. They'll love you there. You'll be
yeah,
welcome with open
definitely.
arms. Tried to get Ryan for the case to come up and play a wee halftime show there as well last year, but he couldn't make it.
Oh.
Um, so into 2024, and like, it seems to have ramped up again.
I'm back.
Festivals again. The festivals are back. You played Kendall Collin this year. You played one in Sweden.
Yeah.
How was that then, going abroad? Is that your first time abroad?
Yeah, it was nuts. Like I got told like a few months before, and it was scary. It was the first time I like flew anywhere by myself, and um it was nuts. Like just getting to play like in a different country, like to a different crowd. It was so weird, but so nice as well. Like it was such like a big achievement for me. Like I think getting booked for like a show abroad is always something that you dream of, and I never thought it would like my first show like European show would be in Gothenburg. It seems like a bit of a random place, but it was amazing. Such a gorgeous city, and everyone was so nice, and it was honestly like probably one of my top three highlights of this year. It was amazing. Loved it. I was very sleep deprived though. Like I was very much in and out. I think I was there for about 7 hours in total. But yeah, I loved it. It was great, and I'd love to go back.
Brilliant. And you had a headline show in London in
I did.
March. And then you're just off the back of This Feeling by the Sea. Well,
Yes.
that's just finished a couple of weeks ago, I think. So how was it? How was that? Obviously, a massive festival, a lot of names that you've kind of been associated with so far throughout your career. But we've maybe not touched enough on This Feeling. How important are This Feeling for kind of grassroots artists like yourself?
So important. Like for me, Mikey and George from This Feeling have like they were the first people that ever gave me anything and never like believed in me. They still do to this day. Like I was talking to someone about this in at the This Feeling by the Sea, but different from any like other small promoters, like there's been times where I've had something happen like in my career and I need someone to talk to, and I've like doesn't matter what time of day it is, I've been able to text Mikey and be like, "Oh, can you give me a call?" And he always has, no matter what. And I know for a fact he does that for loads of other artists as well, which is so important because it's easy enough to like, well, not that it's easy, but it's easy to put on shows for bands in cities. But what smaller bands really need is that like guidance and because it's such like a mad industry. Like there's no other industry like it. It's such like tactical and
Yeah.
strange, like the way it works, and you literally like there's no way you'd know that from even from like studying it or whatever. Like you kind of have to learn it as you go, and like they're always there to support bands in that way as well, which is the most important thing I think, and that's like why so many bands play with them. And yeah, they're just dead supportive, and like it's such a nice vibe there as well. Like I've literally met like my best friends through this feeling, and
Mhm.
you know, all the bands that I've met through this feeling we're all like really good friends outside the music as well, which just shows I think how
Yeah.
supportive it all is
That when you look at
together.
it, you can see the kind of community with all these kind of up and coming artists.
Yeah,
It's really heartwarming to see, kind of, because you all do look like friends.
yeah. Well, it's like quite a hard industry, and you know, like we've literally got like a massive group chat with like loads of us in it, and um like we're all supporting each other all the time. Like I've got a gig in Manchester on Friday, and all the Manchester bands are coming down, and it's just nice to see like we're all dead supportive. And um yeah, I thought it would be like when getting into it, I thought every band would be like against each other, but it's definitely not like that anymore, and it's very nice because that's kind of
Yeah.
how we all grow together.
Frozen
Yeah.
again.
Oh, my back. Ooh, yeah.
So a couple of single releases this year as well. February you released Are You Bored Yet? And then in May you released your latest one, Waiting for a Reason. And as you touched on there, you play Manchester on Friday as part of your headline tours. It kicks off in Manchester. I've not got the places here, but I'm sure Sheffield, Newcastle, London,
Birmingham.
and Birmingham.
Yeah.
So that all kicks off on Friday, September the 20th. So you looking forward to this? Is this going to be your biggest tour to date?
Yeah, I'm so excited. So it's kind of like my first headline tour. So that tour that I did in 2023, I don't know, whenever it was, that was like a club tour. So it was like some nights I'd headline, some nights I wouldn't. It was like, but the idea was that I was just on a tour. But this is like the first time I'm headlining every night, and it's so exciting. There's some of the cities, like I've only ever headlined in Manchester and London, and I'm so excited. Also really nervous, but to play all the other shows, and it's gonna be great. I'm so excited. Like Manchester's nearly sold out. I think we've got like 10 tickets left, which is nuts. And it's like more than double the capacity of the last show I did. So that's really fun. I'm really excited. And Deaf Institute is a venue I've literally been going to like since I moved here. I think it was literally the first venue I went to when I moved here. So it's nice. Feels like a little full circle moment. But I'm so excited. I'm literally like getting all my stuff together today, and I'm like, oh. But yeah, it should be good. Really
Yeah,
looking forward.
yeah, you'll be buzzing for it, and that runs away next week then as well.
Yeah.
And then what's coming up after that? What's coming up between now and the end of the year?
So hopefully I'll have a new song out. I'm just in the studio next month. So hopefully, but if not, I've got loads of new songs next year. And yeah, I've just got a few shows, support shows that's not been announced yet, so I don't think I could talk about them, but I'm going to some cities that I've not been to yet this at the end of the year, which should be really fun. And yeah, I'm just like I'm gonna go back into writing for a bit once tour finishes for a few weeks, and then I'm in the studio, so that should be fun. And yeah, I'm really excited. Like I've got loads of songs that I'm like really really wanting to get out at the minute, and it's like really annoying me that I can't play them or anything yet. But yeah, I'm really excited, and I hope
What would the plan be like for releasing them? Because obviously, like the 4 releases you've had now, they've just been kind of single releases. Would there be any plans for like an EP or something like that?
Yeah, so I'd hopefully like to get an EP next year, to be fair. But I'm just gonna kind of see how it goes by the end of the year. But it's definitely something that I'm looking to do. And yeah, I'd love to get an album out, but it's not the right time at the minute. But yeah, I'm just like looking forward to releasing music and hopefully getting some physical copies as well of some stuff. That's something I really want to do next year, is get some vinyls and some CDs and get all that ready to go.
That all sounds amazing. And obviously, most important thing is getting something up here in Glasgow. Need to get that sorted.
Definitely.
The last part of the podcast, obviously, I don't know if you were aware of it for the message I sent you called Time for Heroes. I asked my guest to pick 4 heroes to come for dinner. Why they're your heroes and what would you cook for them as well?
So,
and you're frozen.
oh,
Just before we go into that bit.
am I back? Yes.
You're back.
So, these are a bit, I wouldn't say random, but I wouldn't say, I don't feel like I've got like dead, like certain heroes. Like I kind of just like who I like. But for me, she's definitely a hero. But Patti Smith, I'm obsessed with like all of her work, like her poetry, like her novels. Literally obsessed. Like I think I read Just Kids like every year, like since I was like 12. I love it. But yeah, I think she just have loads of really cool stories, and I'd love to hear them. And she's someone I've definitely looked up to, it musically and like writing wise as well. She's just really cool, and I love that she's always just been completely herself and just completely devoted to her art, which is something really inspiring sometimes when you're feeling a bit fed up or something. I always listen to some Patti Smith, and it kind of reminds me that, you know, she was like in New York, you know, like didn't have much, and she was still very much devoted to her art. And yeah, I love it. I'd literally love to meet her. I think I'd faint if I ever met her. But yeah, I love Patti Smith. I'd love for her to be there. And then I wrote Gareth Bale down secondly, just because love him. Welsh legend. Played football growing up, you know, love Wales. Yeah, like not much else to it, but yeah, Gareth Bale also seems like a nice bloke.
Scored some cracking goals, hasn't he?
Exactly, yeah. So, and I think if my brother was there, they can talk about golf together. So
yeah, well, that's the thing. He seems more into his golf and football.
I know, yeah. I'd be like asking him football questions, and he'd be like, no, golf. I want to talk about golf. I'd be like, that's no use for me, hun. But yeah, I'd love to meet Gareth Bale, and think he would be very, very fun and very nice as well. And then thirdly, Stevie Nicks is like one of my favourite. I mean, Fleetwood Mac are one of my favourite ever bands, and I was luckily able to see her this summer, which I never ever thought I'd get to see her. So that was like one of the best gigs I've ever been to. Saw her at Hyde Park in London, and yeah, she's just like the coolest person. Like I've just got this amazing aura around her, and yeah, I love her. I think she'd just be really cool to have food with and drinks and all that. And I bet she's got some stories that I'd love to peck her head about, and that's definitely make her sing for me as well. But yeah, I'd love to meet Stevie Nicks, and she's also someone I'd absolutely faint and not be able to talk to her if I ever met her. But
we need to have a paramedic handy at this dinner
100%. I need an ambulance at the ready. And then lastly, Steve Jones from Sex Pistols, just because I think he'd just have some mad stories. Like, and I think like Sex Pistols was such like an influential band, and I'd love to like know how like they felt at that time. And yeah, I think it's just he'd just be a mad person to have food. So yeah,
see that time, like the punk time, because I had Steve Diggle for the Buzzcocks. I had him a couple of episodes ago, and see like kind of talking about punk. It was so quick, man. It was like it was only in the space of 2 or 3 years, really.
I know, it's mad, isn't it?
And it's to think what the guys that lived in that kind of went through in such a short period of time. It's
It's
amazing.
insane. Like, I've always loved punk music. Literally growing up listening to it, and I always thought it was like this massive long period of time, but it really isn't. And, you know, like even with like Vivian Westwood and stuff, I love Frozen. Hello. Like I really love like fashion and stuff in like the punk era. Like I just love it. I think it's just really cool, and I don't think that there'll ever be a period in time where that happens again. And I think like, you know, to just get to speak to someone like that, experience that would be really cool. And that was also like a massive part of the movement. Would just be mad. So definitely Steve Jones.
Brilliant. And what are you cooking all this lot?
Oh, some pasta probably, because that's all I eat. Love pasta. So I'd probably make them like an arrabbiata or something.
Brilliant.
With garlic bread,
I'm right
loads
into
of
my
garlic
pasta
bread.
as well.
Oh, so nice.
I think with me it was because when I was single, it was just the easiest thing to cook. So
Oh,
it's kind of ingrained in me now. It's just it is so easy. I pretend I'm Italian, but I'm not.
well, I've got like Italian in me from like years and years ago. Like
Yeah,
my,
well, that's what I think I have as well. I think we all have to a certain extent, but
I know, yeah.
you just try and kind of stretch it out a wee bit more.
Yeah, I think my nan's granddad or something was Italian, and I've been to Rome, so I'm a pasta expert now. But yeah, love pasta. Love any Italian food. To be fair, love it. I'd move to Italy just to eat the food. So
One
yeah.
one of my last questions I was going to ask you again. I said that I was through your Instagram yesterday, checking everything out. Quite a few pictures of you with drinks, and I was going to ask, what's your favourite drink? Is it wine or Guinness? Then you appear on this podcast today with a Guinness poster in the background, and you're wearing a Guinness jumper as well. So,
God, get me a prom deal. Yeah, I know. I do love a Guinness, but
I love a Guinness, man. That's how I can tell you. You'd be ideal up here. You'd fit in so well with the
yeah, definitely.
Celtic community.
My brother's getting married in Scotland next year, so I'm like, yeah, I just gotta come to Glasgow and Edinburgh and just get on the piss. Think it would be great.
Definitely. Absolute pleasure having you on the podcast today.
Thank you so much for having
I'll
me.
post all your links to all your socials. I'll post up a link for people to buy tickets for the tour.
Thank you.
So everybody that's listening, Manchester, Sheffield, Birmingham, London,
Yeah.
and somewhere else, go buy tickets. Go buy tickets, see Megan on a headline tour, and check her out on all the socials. It'll all be up in the show notes. But thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure.
Have a lovely day.
Thank you. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Time for Heroes podcast. If you would like to get in touch, the best way is on the Facebook page, Time for Heroes podcast, or on Instagram at Time for Heroes podcast, or Twitter at Time for Heroes P1, or drop me an email at timeforheroespod@gmail.com. You'll find Time for Heroes on all podcast platforms, including Spotify, Apple, Google, and Amazon. Please leave a review where you can, share with others, and more importantly, enjoy.